Welcome to our podcast. I'm Holden Cohen, joined by Patch. Patch, what's your last name?
McMahon.
And I'm Justin Bacon, and today we're going to be talking about why sports matter, and more importantly, racism in sports and how that affects how sports matter.
So we all picked subtopics based on race within sports. So my topic was how Tiger Woods has had to deal with racism through his career as a pro golfer, and golf has basically been a white dominant sport, so it's tough for someone who's a young African American to grow as a golfer and continue on. And throughout his experience as a golfer, he's had to deal with adversity. And just one thing to start off with is one time an analyst for golf said, whenever he wins, we'll just serve him fried chicken for the celebration dinner. And that Tiger took that offensively, and the guy may or may not have done that on purpose, but that's something he said and that came off that way. So that's just one thing to start us off that Tiger's had to deal with.
Yeah, a very similar problem happened to Jackie Robinson, who's a famous baseball player that broke the segregation laws in baseball, or at least began to. And something that happened to him was some members created on his team, the Brooklyn Dodgers created a petition that made it impossible for Jackie to join the team. The petition was not, it was vetoed, but anyways, Jackie still felt very attacked by this, and it was very racist of his teammates to do, and they just didn't want him in baseball, which isn't fair. But his character led him to be the best man and learn from this experience. And another quote from a sports analyst says that Jackie Robinson also was a very talented and ambitious man. He helped the Dodgers to a World Series, and the fans repaid him with taunts and racism. That's just another example of how racism is affecting sports.
Racism also affected sports with Muhammad Ali. People say maybe one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time had to deal with a lot of racism. He became Muslim and boxed being Muslim, and people did not like it. He became very controversial because of that. He also, one of the more controversial things he did was when he was drafted into the Vietnam War, he said he did not want to go. He did not have any problems with the Vietnamese people, and that it was against his religion, and people saw that as, oh, he just doesn't want to go. He thinks he's famous. He doesn't have to go, things like that. But it's just against his morals. So I think that's was a problem with racism in sports because
Another experience Tiger Woods had to deal with was when an analyst for the Golf Channel, the biggest golf network on television, one of the broadcasters said that the rest of the competition was going to have to gang up on Tiger, and that if they wanted to win, they were going to have to lynch him in a back alley. And this is a broadcaster for the Golf Channel, the biggest golf network in all of the sport. And so I think it's interesting to see whether the main source of these racist acts come from either workers in the industry or fans, because as we see in the NBA right now, all these players are being yelled at by fans by racist acts, touching them, yelling at them.
As well as in baseball. And I think back in 2016 when the Orioles were in Fenway playing the Red Sox, someone hung a poster over the Green Monster that said baseball is as American as racism, which is really, really bad, especially in the sports world. Patch, what do you think about that?
I think racism in sports is a big deal today. I think the fans and the media are being, mostly fans are being racist, maybe trying to chirp the players, get in their head because they want their team to win. But I think when that happens, maybe the players get the players like flip out or something, and then the media throws it out of proportion, and like that's how like racism in sports has just gone out of control. And it just
I think
needs to stop.
there's different ways to heckle a player than saying racist things or putting up racist pictures, and that there's other ways to go around it that doesn't personally attack these players.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But some lessons that are taught in sports, such as like character and leadership skills, those can also go a long way in helping a player stay cool, keep us calm. That's exactly what Jackie Robinson did back in the 1940s, 1950s, and I think that was a really great thing of him to do because he eventually was able to break the segregation laws in baseball.
Muhammad Ali was a leader too. He, from like being a part of the civil rights movement and supporting Malcolm X and his movement in the civil rights era for African American people is just very important, showing that he wanted change and that he didn't care what people's skin color was. He just wanted to be the same, and that's why he's just such a great leader, because he wanted things that other people in the world didn't want.
Yeah, exactly. And sports can teach leadership skills that mostly other things cannot, and that's exactly why they matter.
And although golf is an individual sport, Tiger may not be leading his teammates, but he's definitely leading and carving a path for other African Americans to play golf, and showing that as he's one of the best to play in the history of the game, there should definitely be opportunities for others to be involved. And although they may not have the resources, they definitely deserve a fair chance to get on the tour.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson also achieved many incredible accolades throughout his career that people thought were impossible to be done by an African American. And when other African American boys and girls saw that, they look up to him and they believe that he's Superman pretty much, and that really helps them carve a way for them to do sports and be athletic.
Yeah, same with Muhammad Ali. Like with Holland said, golf is a one-person sport, so is boxing. But the thing is, like, if you watch him, like, people say watching him box was magical, and he was so athletic. What he did was just unheard of, like dodging punches, like things like that. He was just such a great athlete, and people take away from him just because he was African American.
I really believe that sports matter because they can help change lives. Like many kids who have looked up to these three great athletes, Tiger Woods, Muhammad Ali, and Jackie Robinson, I can guarantee you they changed their lives looking up to them.
And when these kids see these African American athletes be on top of their respective worlds in their sport, these kids feel like they can have the same feeling, and that drives them and motivates them to achieve greatness.
Exactly what Holden said. Like with these boys and girls who watch and see what these great athletes have done, they have motivation to do the same. They have like a drive, say I can do it because he did it, and it just gives them more of like gives more of a idea of what they want to do later in life.
That's going to be it for us. Thank you for listening to our podcast.